Blog Talk Radio.
Desperate House Witches. I am Raina Stassi. Desperate House Witches is not a GPG or even an R-rated show, so if bad language, bodily function, dirty talk of any kind might offend you, not the show. I'll say what I want to say what I mean. Desperate House Witches is brought to you by the amazing Dorothy Morrison. Please check out www.wickedwitchstudios.com for all of your witching needs. So we are live from Mystic South in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Woo! All right. Mystic South is at Crown Plaza, Atlanta, perimeter at Ravinia. We are at 4355 Ashford Dunwoody East. Come and see us. If you're listening to this now and you're not coming till tomorrow, you have missed me. But that's okay. Come say hello. All right. So we are lucky enough to have a bunch of speakers who are coming up to speak with me. And our very first speaker is the wonderful Opal Luna. Thank you. Hi, Opal. Hello. So Opal is a writer. Tell people what you have written.
I wrote the book Fiber Magic, and it is the spiritual path for the crafter and all about the energies that go into making things with your hands.
A wonderful thing. Something that is kind of a lost art, is it not?
It can be. If you look hard enough, there's thousands and thousands there's like Facebook crochet sites with pages with 30,000 members on it. But so many people just say, I remember my grandmother doing this.
That's what I mean. It's like such an old art, and a lot of people take it up. I tried knitting. I'm not a crocheter. I'm not yarn savvy in the slightest. But your book is really detailed and kind of makes it easier to, if you want to do something magically, which and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I made these bells. Show her the bells.
Very nice.
I did some cord twisting, so even this idiot can get it done. So, I mean, I recommend the book highly, obviously.
Thank you.
So what are you doing here at Mystic South?
Well, today I had a workshop called the Elemental Mojo Bag, and it was all about the different elements that I've assigned to the basic crochet stitches. So all your, mermaids don't have to be blue and all your dragons don't have to be red to get that elemental focus in there, because the difference they are the elements.
Cool. Wow. I never thought about that.
The chain stitch or slip stitch is earth because it's your foundation. The single crochet on top of that is the water. The half double crochet dance is like fire, and the tallest of the basic stitches, double crochet, is air. So you can balance all your poppets with all the elements by using the different stitches.
That's very, very cool. So when is that class? Or was that
it was just today. No, I don't have another one.
Okay.
But I have a book signing tomorrow, so I'll be down in Sojourner's shop.
What time?
At 1:30, so that you can talk to me. And my booth is actually right outside of the shop, so you can come by and if you're here, and see the book and see all the stuff I make and talk hookers with me. Happy hookers.
We're talking about hookers.
Okay then. I filled that conference room with hookers. I had 16 hookers in that room.
Wow.
And everybody made a bag.
Opal, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you, and we will. Yay!
Well, thank you.
I am really honored to bring up the next guest. I have messaged her. I have wanted to go for Priestess Stephanie. Come up and join me.
Come on down.
It's an honor to sit right there if you like. Yeah, near the microphone so people can hear you.
Yes, indeed.
This is Priestess Stephanie Rose. I am so honored.
Yeah. So I am a witch, a pagan, an eclectic pagan, and a hoodoo, as well as being a shaman. I said, what does all of that mean? So I have recently stepped into my title. I feel like it's a rightful title. But apart from that, so the nitty-gritty, I have published 8 books, 7 of which are on hoodoo and magic. I also did a anthropology textbook on race. And I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of different journals, and you know how Llewellyn has Witch's Companion, Llewellyn Herbal, Llewellyn, all of the annuals, I write for those. So if you're interested in anything, any further reading, I would check out Llewellyn and Red Will Wise. They represent my work, as well as some other publishers. And I'm just so excited to be here for the first time and to see all of your nice faces. And that's it.
Are you enjoying being a headliner?
I am.
Yay!
Yeah.
So what workshops are going on?
Okay, so this morning I did a metallurgy, African metallurgy paper. I did a paper, a PowerPoint, and a demonstration. That's me, always like over. Tomorrow I am speaking on hands. And then on Sunday I have an experiential surprise for everyone.
Ooh.
Full body experience.
Need a full body something.
Yes.
I would like that very much. When and where will that?
Okay, so I believe tomorrow in that really large one that's like an auditorium.
Yes, downstairs.
Yeah, I will be, that's where the hand readings will be. And then on Sunday, I think I'm back in Oakwood.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this experience. Can you give me a little hint or something? Or
Oh, sure.
I'm so pushy. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm really pushy.
Okay, so it's all about opening the portal. And I am going to encourage all attendees to come with an open mind, open heart, lots of energy, and we're going to try to open your personal portal to the other realm.
Yeah. That's amazing. I just want you to know I so appreciate you. I messaged you. I think I messaged correct, like in the wrong place, but I've been trying to get up. I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, hi, will you come see me on my podcast?
I saw your communication, and, you know,
who is this crazy person?
Sometimes I get things from people that are real, and sometimes they are not, and it's hard. Sometimes, you know, I'm just trying to tell what's what, and I think that's what kind of space I was in, but I was like, that podcast sounds so interesting. I really want to be on it, and here I am. Well, thank you for the invitation.
I'm very honored that you.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, sorry, already a programming issue.
Yeah,
Raina made a mistake. What a surprise.
That's why you have me.
Yeah, that is why I have. Of course. All right, our next guest is the fabulous Martha.
So happy I got out of my chair, you know. It's like it's a miracle.
Hi, Miss Martha.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Well, I'm good to hear that.
How's your convention going so far?
You know, it's been fabulous. I did my workshop this morning on Thrifty Witchery. I did a Scrabble divination. Oh, I said the S word. I did a letter tile divination. You may have to bleep that.
You get in trouble, apparently, if you say certain things.
Certain copyrighted things. Certain heavily copyrighted things.
You get in trouble if you say certain things.
You said scrambled, like egg.
I did, like an
Scrambled.
egg, that's right.
Today, yes, that's good.
But it went really, really well, and so I was thrilled about that. And then I've got a book signing for Thrifty Witchery, which is where the letter tile divination came from. Then that's tomorrow at 11. And then my co-author is going to be coming blowing into town just for the day.
Literally.
Tomorrow. Vinny, that's exactly right.
And when you meet Vinny, you will understand exactly what we're saying.
He's a ball of fire. And he'll be doing another workshop on Thrifty Witchery. So he's got like a PowerPoint and all the fancy things. I had to talk.
I literally saw him 5 minutes while he was out. It was insanity.
Yeah. He's a boy on a mission.
He really is. Martha, thank you for
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Bye. I'd also like to bring up my other headliner, the amazing John. Hi, my friend.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
Thank
John
you.
Lightfoot is an award-winning author and
Thank you. Well, today we had my Groove With Me class where we danced to music off of the playlist for Powerful Juju, which is on YouTube. So you can go out and just download the Powerful Juju playlist, and we had a blast. We were sweating. It was really great. Yeah, it was really good, and so that was a lot of fun. And then tomorrow I'm teaching my doll magic class about the spiritual magic of real dolls. I'm very excited about that. And well, you asked.
I know. I'm terrified.
I'm just telling you the title.
I know.
I'm not telling you anything else. And then Sunday I'm doing a ritual for Tituba, the Black Witch of Salem.
Oh, wow.
Very excited. Yeah, having a great time. Oh my gosh. I'm having the best. Everybody is fabulous. Everybody. Wonderful.
We're trying to be fabulous.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I love you. Thank you again, and we'll talk with you.
Okay.
Just like we do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, Anya. Okay, what do I get? Anya. This is Anya Marie the Yoga Witch. All right, so aside from taking video of my dumb face, what are you doing here?
Well, I am pitching a book to a publisher for my first time. Thank you. I'm really passionate about it. Basically, it's called The Grimoire of a Yoga Witch, How to Find Your Flow and Create Magic Along the Way. And it basically represents my healing journey through yoga and witchcraft and everything that came in between that and everything I had to do to begin the process of healing. So, I am here right now and trying to merge Thank you. I'm still learning. My first time going to a Witchy conference as well. Literally on the camera. I suppose I should talk about that. I do. So alongside my project, I am fulfilling my passion of blogging. So I am getting comfortable putting myself out there, making connections, and so right now we are doing a stream for my YouTube channel that's growing, the Season of Anya, and yeah. So.
Is this season 1 of Season of Anya?
It's an everlasting season, the one that never ends.
That's what we should call it, the everlasting Season of Anya, because people are always looking for part 2. It's all the same part. It's one big part. It's one big part. So Anya, I'm sure, will be videotaping throughout.
Yep.
And
if anybody wants to connect,
with us. Yeah.
I love that. And thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you. And thank you.
All right, get off my stage. Very good. Okay. Sarah Amos. I threw it up every time. Why she doesn't hit my head, I don't know. Yet. You will eventually. Hi.
I'm blogging for my channel because I need to do the same thing.
I am a victim of blog and vlog. Okay.
Blogified.
I've been blogified. Hi, Sarah. What's going on? What you doing here?
Well, tomorrow at 4:30, I am going to be giving a presentation on pagans in politics.
That's an interesting topic. Tell me more, please.
There's a different panel that's about activism, magical activism.
Mm-hmm.
This is like electoral politics. Because
Ooh,
I think that pagans tend to think that mainstream politics for us, and that is both correct and counterproductive. Like, we shouldn't cede that territory. And one of the things I'm going to focus on is that, first of all politics is local, and as a pagan, the things that you tend to run into trouble with, where if you're being harassed or you're being denied a permit or your kid's being harassed at school, all of that is local politics. That's city, county, sometimes state level government. So exert your right to citizen as state. And the person who is presenting with me is the state senator for Dunwoody. Right?
Wow.
She's a member of the Georgia State Legislature. And she's not a pagan, but she was willing to come and do this because she knows me. Right? And that's the demonstration of what I'm talking about. Like, if you become a known person, and, if they hear, like, witches or whatever, they're like they think Hollywood or television or something. But if you're an actual person, shows up to meetings, volunteers, and they know you and they know who you are, you become a real person. Then you become, and especially if you are their constituent, they care what you think.
That's amazing. Let's see if I can take that home with it. No, I can try. See, my fear with stuff like that is we live in a culture now that says pretty much burn a witch and burn anybody who isn't like a certain type of person. So it gives me pause every time I feel very safe, and I hope. But it doesn't. That's not.
I mean,
that's pretty amazing that you feel like that.
Everybody has to evaluate their own. But for every person, it's like being out in all spaces. For every person who's visible, they'll risk. And I'm a voting member of DeKalb County. So, and that the post, I don't know if you know, post seats are elected. Technically, I'm an elected.
Cool.
like that and $5 looking for coffee, but.
So Sarah, if people want to reach you to discuss this or maybe get your ideas and do something effective.
My email is my, right, so Sarah@SarahAmis.com, and it's SarahAmis.
Yeah, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Cleo is also one of our friends. And yes, I'm calling you up. I'm sorry. She's trying to get herself organized. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing really great.
How's your conference going?
It's been wonderful, actually. So let's see. I gave this afternoon a presentation on numerology, which is terrific. So was anyone here? It was wonderful. I love it. And that was nice. And tomorrow I'm doing the Baltic opening ritual. So I'm also removing. So I'm going to remove. And we have that. I'm working with my priest, Reverend Father D, and Ash, and so together we are presenting different aspects. There's not been a removing ritual here, but there's a nice sizable healing community. And so please, I know 8 o'clock sounds really early, but it's an energizing ritual, people.
Yes.
Energy. Lots and lots of energy. So come celebrate with us. It's only an hour. And then on Sunday, we are doing the cronehood and sainthood in the afternoon at 1:30. I know, sounds like a really heavy topic, but we all are aging, and we all go through those areas. And I love the fact that finally it's become popular again. And as usual, I will probably be pitching some things for Lauren on that. I am, and this is probably not going to come for another year. I'm working with the Anthology on Theurgy, and yeah,
wonderful.
Yes, that's why it's so fun to say that I can read it because I need to be able to read this. So I have they can reach me at cleojana.com. They can go to my WordPress site, which I still am updating. So kudos for you for, I believe you said the year of season of Anya. I like that. And you can also go to www.cleojana.com. I am on Facebook under Cleojana, and of course you can read me monthly, relatively speaking, on the Wild Hunt from the columnist there. And pretty much it's whatever comes out. So I was in Denver at a Sapphic conference when the decision came out regarding, I'm sure you've heard of it, the woman who hasn't actually started her website but wanted the right to not do sites for gay couples.
Mm-hmm.
And so being in Colorado when that happened, and it was a Colorado decision focusing on that, was very interesting. So those sorts of things and whatever comes up, I write about. That was a hard one. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that was one of the best speeches I've heard about that was our keynote speaker for during the day, the next day, and speaking about the history and for people who forget that for every step you take forward, every 2 steps, you end up going backwards. At some point, there's always a backlash. And my personal opinion is that a lot of people may be surprised, but this is a backlash that's been a very long time coming. And it's a strategy game. So anyone here play chess? It's a chess game. And you think a good chess player thinks 10, 15, 25 moves ahead. If that's what your competition is doing, it's always going to come as a shock here. So the affirmative action case, yeah, backlash, to be a generation. The other case, yes, there's a question of what's more important of our liberties. Freedom of speech Is it more than freedom of religion? Is it, well, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, which one is more important? And it looks like one is coming over the other and how that's going to ram through. Not to mention the whole dominionism thing that's happening. That's going to directly affect. So that I do believe is going to get worse. And I also think that it's a question of this probably the next 4 or 5 years, not the next year. The next year, yes, is really important. But the after effects of the election, that's going to be another, people are debating actually 2020 at this point, which they rightfully should. Because whether it's a reenact or something else, a lot of things that have been implemented recently are going to affect through the end of the decade, if not sooner.
I was trying to have a happy show.
Oh, I could give you something really happy then.
Okay,
happy.
I want something, just to wrap up, if we could, with something happy, on a happy note.
I think the happy note is that more people are aware, and generationally, the generation that is really going to do something, whether they like it or not, is probably either between Generation G and Generation A. And the alphas, for those who don't know, if you got a kid or grandkid 2010, 2012 onward, that's Gen A. Gen Z, people are like, oh, they'll lay in bed, whatever. Who cares? They're the ones who care about things that will have an influence. It skips every couple of years. And if you're Gen Z, I'm Gen Z. Gen X. We're forgotten. We don't get mentioned, which actually is a blessing. Because
the radar.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
If people don't think you exist, they won't notice you come out of nowhere. Absolutely.
This is true. As a boomer, I have to say. Boomer in the house. Thank you. Okay. We're here. We take a lot of heat as baby boomers, and so we do a lot of shit. We dish out a lot too. That's just fair. But I definitely. So that vote again. We always drum that voting every election is so important because they play a long game. They get in on the ground level on school boards and how they get name recognition, and they go up and up. If it takes 30 years for that to happen, this is how we wind up with people like that.
When you mention that, the one thing I'd love to add is it's not just the voting part, it's also the education. If you look at what happened, people say, oh, it's the Supreme Court. No, I'd take a really hard look, not the Supreme Court, at the federal courts, at the other courts. Because if you can have something where you can put in people, how many of you honestly are looking at the actual approvals? Do they have to go through the House and the Senate? Very few people keep those, but if you put in enough people, and you've got people on your side who think your way because they're trained at the educational level. I'm an educator, by the way, but in my regular J job. So if you've got things to do, all going to the same colleges, you all have the same things together, this is my buddy so-and-so. Everyone does that. If you end up getting a path where you're going to be in the appeals court or the regular court, then you have a way to actually make it, and then no one notices until it's too late. However, the upbeat part, the upbeat part is those same justices who get on the appeals court, even though they were appointed by conservative presidents, and if you're on the other side, liberal president, whatever, they actually follow standards. The Supreme Court doesn't have them, but they do, and they are following them. So every now and then you say, oh, so-and-so's bad, and then you say, oh, they're not so bad. He's straight down the middle, which is what you're supposed to be. So that to me is
so much.
You're welcome.
It was an honor. All right, so I feel we're sound better at the same time. It happens that way. By the way, if you don't like politics, I am so sorry.
This is not the show for you.
This is not the show for you. For sure. All right, Ember Tyler and Kathy. Come join me.
You guys want to sit here and here? I'll move
Sure. There's a speaker. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Hi. So
Hi.
tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Sure. Okay, I am Ember. This is my lovely best friend, Kathy. And we are co-founders of a company called Luna's Vault, a metaphysical energy company. We focus on nature and the energy as we need, helping people through difficult times in transition.
I'm always in a difficult time in transition, so that is a constant thing in my world.
Happens once in a while, huh?
No, I'm 62 years old. It's been happening since I was 30. Go ahead. Talk to me about the transition.
The transition. Well, we're excited to be being here. This is our first year presenting here. I've been here. I'm from Atlanta. I've been here and love this. But we are presenting tomorrow at 11, doing the Manifest with the Moon workshop.
What's involved?
Using the cycle of the moon.
Oh, cool.
And more than just a full moon spell. So much more than that. It's utilizing all the cycles, being connected to every one of the cycles and connecting it to our intentions, how we want to being aware on a weekly basis.
So you're following like a daily moon salt or a weekly salt?
Right.
This is getting intense now. All right.
Yeah. There's an astrophysicist near and dear to my heart, Dr. Amit Goswami, who has this concept of jubi. Happens in nature.
Frank Sinatra, jubi.
Action, meditation, relaxation. We move, we stop. Flex. Down. Happens in everything. So we need to do that too. That's how the good energy. Yeah.
So are you presenting that?
Our only thing? Well, otherwise, we're having fun and every single workshop comes.
Cool. Do you have a website?
It's Luna's Vault.
Cool. So people can reach out to you there. Where else can they?
Luna's Vault Academy, and that's our group that we have. So we actually, the workshop is going to be a little interactive.
Oh, cool.
We'll have, so we have some examples of what we do. We actually, every new moon, create a vision, bring, so that people, I'm a very visual person, so it keeps me focused. I have it on my altar, and just helps us with that. Together each week, like she said, on the major phases. Check in, play Truth or Dare. We say
Truth or Dare, first quarter moon.
Are you taking action? It is fun.
No, intimidated by this idea.
We make it fun, really.
I'll bet you do. You both look like you know how to have a good time. I could get way in trouble.
We'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. You know, go back and listen to an old episode, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's." I'm trouble on my own. I don't need help, but I like the kind of help you could give me. So that's fantastic, ladies. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm thinking something sexy about that. I don't know. I got turned on for a minute. What can I say?
Oh, Stephanie Brown. Please come down.
Yay!
No, you're fine. I don't think you need a minute.
I need a mint.
Oh, okay. Mint break. Well, this is Stephanie Brown.
Hi. Stephanie Brown is an artist and is going to speak about some writing and other things. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello. How are you?
Tell everybody who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm Stephanie Brown. I'm a witch and shaman, and I am a practitioner of and co-creator of the tradition of modern totemism, which is a system that my husband Scott and I have created over the last couple of decades for working with personal animal totems. It is a unique system that we have created. It's not a reimagining of other cultures, so it is like hence the modern totemism. And it is a way to, we say, to know thyself, which is key to so many of life's problems, if you could know yourself. But it's a system where you work with 9 animal totems. You have a center, you have a word and lady or masculine and feminine, you have an earth, an air, a fire, or water, and then a night and a day, or light and dark. So that's the basics of it.
She makes beautiful art.
I also make art, yes,
of which I have a lot.
Yes. I make a lot of all natural metaphysical tools, like wands, natural material, wood, bones, that sort of thing.
Yes.
I am in the vendor room. Yes.
Yeah.
Both my wares and my book are available at my booth.
Yay. And how do people find you if they're not here at the conference?
My website is paintedcavestudio.com, and I'm also Painted Cave Studio on all the social media.
Stephanie, thank you.
Thank you.
Deborah Lori, come on down. This is my new friend, Deborah.
Hello.
Hi, Deborah. Tell everybody about you.
Medium, psychic, crazy person.
Explains why we're friends.
Yes,
I
but
know.
like we gel. It's just a thing. First time here, very excited. I was lucky enough to be able to host a lecture this morning on mediumship. Is anybody here for the end of the class? I don't have my glasses on. Great feedback. Most of everybody was a little bit, which really, as horrible as that sounds, made me happy because it shows that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm healing.
Yep.
And that is my pain. That is my cup being full.
That's all.
I've been very busy.
Got a lot of pictures.
Yep.
Lots of pitching in the house.
A lot of pitching. Hey.
Give me a hint.
It is about grief, stages of grief, processing them, and learning that you can also still communicate with the people that you love by mediumship. I shared my personal journey and validators, tell people that there are things that you wouldn't expect to be about, and just kind of meld the two together. It helps one person.
That's pretty awesome.
Black mirrors, dry mirrors. I've been starting those, as well as tension candles that are already put together with the herbs, those cards.
Cool.
And I am just enjoying having a blast being here.
You're having a good conference?
I am.
How do people find you?
They can go to my website, which is DeborahLaurie.com. You can find me on Facebook under Psychic Deborah Laurie. TikTok and Instagram are both Salem Witch Deborah Laurie. All one. My Etsy shop, if you check it out, is Natural and
Fantastic.
Thank
Deborah
you.
Laurie, thank you
It's
so
an
much.
honor. I'm glad I can probably put a face to the conversation.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
All right. Next up is Nathan Hall. Where is he?
He's
Nathan?
not here.
Nathan? Oh.
I'll talk tonight.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Are you sure?
Well, I've got a class tomorrow while we're waiting on Nathan.
Well, I'm not waiting on Nathan because he can come back in at any time and
Well, then go to the next person.
We'll go to the next person. Woo! All the way from California.
Yay!
Hi, girl. What's going on? Talk to me.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good to see you. Nice to see you. So this is your first time at Mystic South.
Yeah, I was supposed to be here last year, but
Yeah.
there was a COVID issue, so I was home instead of being here.
With you feeling a little COVID-y.
Yeah, it was a bummer, but makeup sesh this year.
Yeah. So what's going on? What are you doing here?
I feel like I'm doing so much. Tonight at 8, Leon Raven and I are doing a Dionysian Revel, which is going to be so fun. And then tomorrow night at 8. I don't know what room, though. I still don't know what room. You asked me earlier what rooms I was in, and I was like, a flower room.
If you're presenting, it may help if you know.
Yeah, sorry.
Where are they?
But tomorrow night I'm doing Becoming a Spiritual Rebel, or Being a Spiritual Rebel, which is sort of my whole outlook on being a witch. How do we become more heretical? So that's tomorrow night. It's listed as a ritual, so we'll make it more of a ritual. It was originally going to be more of a workshop, but I can move with it. I'm flexible. And then on Sunday in the morning, thankfully not too early, 9:30, I am doing a workshop on creating dynamic rituals, which is based off my most recent book. And then at noon, I think, on Sunday, I'm part of a panel discussion, and this came up with Sarah just a minute ago, activism and witchcraft. So kind of a lot, it feels like. Yeah, I got lots of books. Yeah, I'm kind of a glutton for punishment. I keep writing books. They're all at the Sojourners booth. So, yeah, so check them out.
What's the latest book?
The latest book, oh, Christ. It's such a long title because I didn't win the battle with my publisher, Llewellyn, on what to call the book. It is called A Witch's Guide to Creating
Magical spells that
rituals that actually work.
Actually work. Yeah.
I wanted it to be called A Witch's Guide to Creating Rituals That Don't Suck. That's what I wanted it to be called.
You didn't win that, or
I didn't, and I tried. They don't like suck. As part of their title.
I don't know. Most of the people I know like suck. Hello, voting for the suck? Are we voting for the suck? No.
So yeah, it didn't win.
Fine.
So now it's very long and I can't remember it and I feel guilty, but.
Are you having a good time?
Oh, totally. It's
so
it's great to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. And tell people about the shop.
I have a little witchy shop in Northern California, Broken Hill. We're about an hour north of San Francisco. We are in the wine country, so if you come out, send me an email, let me know you're coming so I can make sure I'm there. Hello. So we do workshops and classes. We host public ritual. We sell all the esoteric goodies that you could ever imagine, candles and books. And a lot of the people who were just talking, their books are it's so cool to see faces that I've never seen. That's exciting. So,
it's not just a picture on Facebook.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. Like, I know that name. I have their book in my shop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Bye. And Phoenix will be on the show again soon.
Yeah. Eventually.
Phoenix, thank you so much.
Thank you, love.
All right, she's going to kill me. Patty Benjamin, come on down. This is my oldest friend in the world. I have known this woman for 51 or 50 something like almost 52. Hi.
Still talk to each other.
And she hasn't killed me yet, but there's time, believe me. Hi there.
Hey, girl.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Her first Mystic South.
It is. It is. Yes. Honored to be here. She's been trying to get me to come for a very long time.
Forever. Wasn't around that. I am so sweet. Don't tell her. Anyway, so tell folks what you're doing here tomorrow.
I am going to do a sound healing and yoga nidra workshop.
And everyone who I've mentioned says, Nidra yoga? Really? And they're very excited. So tell folks what Nidra is.
It's a heavily guided meditation. Usually do it in the corpse.
I'm good if that's my favorite position.
Yeah.
If I'm prone and I don't have to move, I'm very happy.
Yeah, it sounds morbid, but I am an RN who just retired in October.
Yay!
So now I am pursuing my love of alternative healing modalities. And my last stint in nursing was at a psych hospital. And I did the sound healing and yoga nidra in a lot of groups, and it was so successful. And even the staff, who was like really resistant to my voodoo BS, as they call it, actually came over and sat down and participated in the sound bath. So that was exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I know she has the bowls, and I know she does the yoga, and I'm actually attending your class tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. And how do people reach you? Because you also do oils and you do other things as well.
Yes. Well, I'm a new business person, so I'm a work in progress. But right now,
Aren't we all, baby? Aren't we all?
right now I have a Facebook page, Patty's Potions, and you have to look me up and add at NonComRN because apparently there are 1 million Patty's Potions all over the world on Facebook.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay. That's fantastic, Patty. I'm so glad you finally came to do this. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward
for having me.
tomorrow. Thank you. Well done. Nicholas Pearson, the crystal guru of all crystal gurus, is here. Yes. Hi, my friend. What's going on? How's your conference?
So far, it's been great.
All right. So, have you done any classes yet? What have you done so far, and what do you do tomorrow? And tell me everything.
All right. Well, everything is a lot, but let's start. Let's start with the class that I'm teaching on Sunday.
Great.
So that's my contribution to the conference, and it's about region in our spiritual practice, getting to know what's actually on a given moment. We're going to talk a little bit about earth science, a little geomythology, and how landscaper to appreciate the humble rocks that are in our backyards as potent tools for spellcraft and healing.
Wow. We talked about this morning in Deborah Burris' class.
Great.
Yeah,
great. I love it.
Knowing where things come from is really super important as we were learning classes. So it's great that you also are teaching on this theme. You're also a very accomplished author. Please tell folks about your.
So this year we're celebrating my 8th book coming out called. Thank you. It's called Crystal Basics Pocket Encyclopedia. It is a handbook with 400 in it somehow. But I've got a handful of others that you might love, and you can find them downstairs at the Sojourners booth. Got a few basics. Art is in stock, so it's Flower Essence.
Yeah, great book.
So
several big. But yeah, so I'm so super excited that you're here. I did not know. Did I know you were coming? Did I email you?
No, this was a surprise, I think.
This was a surprise. Okay, yeah, I was like. He's such a sweet person that, you can't say that to his face because he'll be like. But no, I really appreciate that you're on, and I just love your books. It's so accomplished.
Oh, I am. So let's drop a little morsel. There are a couple things I can't really talk much about.
Okay.
But I will say that my portfolio is diversifying a little.
Okay.
Some people in the room. But my next project is about crystal protection magic, but it's not fluffy. It's definitely more than just, here's a shield of light. I'm going to learn how to deal with them. I've got a couple witchier projects after that.
Neat.
But I can't say more.
Okay. I can drag it out. Please tell people.
Yeah, so find me here at the conference. I'll be around. Come online, and you want to follow. I'm at Pearl, and website is theluminpearl.com.
Yeah.
So I try to be consistent.
That's one. So thank you for hanging. I'll find you. Thank you. Nicholas Pearson. Lena? Come on down, baby. Hi. We're finally seeing each other's faces.
I know.
It's amazing to me.
Hi, how are you?
What you doing here?
Oh, just working, What you doing? Also working. I've got a workshop on Sunday.
Okay, what is it?
It's called Embodying the Cauldron of Inspiration, and it's all about learning how to open yourself to be a conduit for inspiration to flow and supercharge your creative practice. And yeah, it's going to be good. Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, you've got to wake up. So
I woke up this morning.
Come in whatever you wore to the Phoenix Ball and just show up. Sleep fine.
Are
no
we sleeping
judgment.
on the floor? Is this what we're
We
doing?
could.
Pajama-ing? Is
It
this
could
what
be
we're doing?
pajamas. Why not?
I like pajamas.
I do too. There's a whole pajama party, I think, tonight. I don't know who's hosting it, but I'm going to be.
Are you really?
I might.
What are you going to wear?
Cat pajamas. What are you going to wear?
No.
Ooh, hey! I'm definitely going to be there then.
We're going to have a private meeting later.
Yeah, you just call me.
I will.
I won't announce my room number, but.
So, this whole thing about opening up, why are people?
I think a lot of it is imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people don't necessarily recognize their gifts and talents, appreciate where they're at. And I think a lot of people overlook the importance of practice, like anything else. And I include magical practices too, because I consider that a form of art, you know. And if you sort of approach it with a shift in perspective, I think you can really empower your artwork, empower your magical practice.
Yeah.
It's the same function, you know, I think.
How do people reach you if they're not able to?
If they're not able to get to my workshop after I'm done crying, you can find me. You can find me on Instagram, Selena of the Crossroads. You can follow my podcast, Crossroads and Cauldrons podcast.
Right on.
Follow.
We need to talk.
Let's talk.
We need to.
We're talking right now, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
You're going to call me later already. It's true. Or
No,
you can email me, Selena@templeofwitchcraft.org, and we'll talk. Yeah.
Podcast will lead you.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Should.
Okay.
I'm gonna come on your podcast.
Come on my show.
I want to be on your show.
Let's do it.
Just invite me, goddamn. In front of a room.
I would love to have you on the show. Please come on the show.
I would.
Okay, awesome. Yay.
Yay.
It is written.
So it
shall be.
And so it shall be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Selena. Very much appreciated. All right. Saw Bustamante. You're the only Saw Bustamante I have. My friend is a multi-talented, multi-running of things person. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. Talk about Mystic South.
Well, it's happening.
It is happening.
No one's died.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
No.
It's a joke.
Um,
But I'm so happy for you. It is a wonderful event. Right, folks? We'll be having a great time.
Wow.
But I do want to talk about the project. We talk about that?
We can talk about that.
Please talk about that. Where is it? What is it? Tell people about it.
So House of Black Cat Magic is part metaphysical shop and part Black Cat Rescue. We have a Black Cat Lounge, which is home to 12 resident cats that are all adoptable. And we also sell metaphysical supplies, candles, incense. We try to make everything as cat safe as possible. So,
had a bunch of adoptions.
36 so far. We opened on.
That's amazing.
We opened on.
That's awesome.
We opened on June 4th, and we opened 5 days a week, and we have 36 adoptions.
That's
so
cool. That's so
it's
cool.
it's really good. And I should qualify that by saying that if you're not aware, black cats are a dominant gene, so there are more black cats than there are any other color of cat. And also, because of that, they're at greater risk of being euthanized anytime they're in a shelter. And they also, bad things happen to black cats still because there's a lot of stigma attached to the black cat. So we are partnered with Binks's Home for Black Cats, and they provide all of our cats. And anybody that wants to adopt, they do extra vetting. They make sure that the homes that the prospective homes and adopters are good people and are gonna take care of the cats properly. Yes, Kate Benjamin who was on Jackson Galaxy show and authored 2 books with him. We are the exclusive brick and mortar for her Dark House Panther line, which is like we have like her catnip toys and just some author cloths. Both the catification book that she did with him and Catify to Satisfy. So we carry both of those. Well, we're houseofblackcatmagic.com, and we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram and TikTok. We do some. Hannah, my business partner, does some pretty hilarious TikTok videos. So, and if you read a profile on Facebook of a cat that is hilarious, then I probably am the one to credit.
What Star forgets also to mention is that we also have a separate team. There's our monthly politics show. That if you care to.
It's the first Thursday every month, and we use a lot of very bad sweary language.
I'm very sweary, as you all fucking know. And next year we will be doing. Okay. She's nodding at me like,
I'll kill you later.
Here we are.
Oh,
all
sure.
right.
Now you have me recorded.
I have you videoed. I have you on audio. You will kill me later, but I'll take the first. Fine. And
the Wild Hunt. Well, I will give you a perfect intro for your next guest. The Wild.
You're all in trouble. Just so we know. Go ahead.
So, the Wild Hunt, wildhunt.org, is a pagan news source. I am the news editor. I have been on hiatus for about the last 2 months because I've been getting House of Black Cat Magic up and running. And Manny Tejeda is the editor-in-chief, and he has been running the news desk for the last 2 months. And he is long-suffering, obviously, because he has to put up with my sorry ass.
We love you, and we all do. So. Star, thank you so much for putting up with me and coming on.
I love you. And your
co-host, my co-host,
Charming
co-host. Manny?
Yay!
Manny Tejeda?
Come on down!
I am now.
You are now.
I know. I'm excited. How are you?
Good. So for folks who are not familiar with the Wild Hunt and what rock have you been living under, please tell us.
Well, we are Pagan News and Commentary, and we have an article a day. We've been around for almost 20 years now. So, and I am the third managing editor of the Wild Hunt. Jason Thistle was one of them. Thistle Waters was the founder, and then Heather Green, who everybody knows, second managing editor, and I'm the third managing editor. I see lots of readers in here already. There's one. and supporters of the Wild Hunt. So we appreciate any donation that you can offer the Wild Hunt. We are about to go through another one of our cycles to raise some funds. We've been trying to not do that really since the pandemic because everybody's kind of strapped for cash. So we, as much as we can. But we would appreciate a small kind of monthly donation if anybody can at wildhunt.org.
Yeah, it's so important to support pagan journalism. Support grassroots. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's real journalism, and we appreciate you, and we
thank you so much
for letting me rope you in.
Thank you. And next time there will be babka.
Okay.
All right.
You know, every year we discuss babka, and if you don't know what babka is, it is.
It's delicious.
Look at the happy pundits on the faces. For the people who know what the babka is. Where's the babka? If you don't know where the babka is, look up babka. It's one of the greatest desserts known to man.
And one of the greatest debates on whether it's chocolate or cinnamon babka is
chocolate.
better. And the answer is chocolate. In
chocolate.
case you don't know, but the answer is chocolate.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Gwen. Come on down. Come talk to me. Bring it, baby. Thank you. I can't read what
Essential herbs for your apothecary.
Yes. Essential herbs for my apothecary.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you, beautiful?
Wonderful.
Talk to me.
Right. So, my class is tomorrow. I can't remember what time because my mind just blanked, but I have worked for a metaphysical store for 5 years, so I've been working in herbs for 5 years, and I do too.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I love plants, I love herbs, and I'm hoping to spread the love of certain herbs that kind of get overlooked that are super important, especially if you're a beginner or if you're a beginner to herbs.
Really?
Yes. I teach a similar class just about every 3 months or so at the store.
Yeah.
It is in Concord, North Carolina. It's
Oh,
called the
you're my
Enchanted
neighbor.
Kitchen. Yes, yay!
That's awesome.
That's right. Shout out to the CLT. If you're not from there, you don't know Concord is not in Charlotte. But
It's
yes,
adjacent. It's
it is.
part of.
It's
on there.
sucking us in. Yeah,
So,
slowly but
because
surely.
Charlotte eats everything.
It does.
It's insanity.
Yes.
You want to talk about urban sprawl? We live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's quite sprawly.
Very sprawly.
Very sprawly.
Mm-hmm.
But we love it.
Yes.
I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah, and today I taught incorporating belly dance spiritual practice, and that was super. Yay! It was super fun. I love belly dance. I've been doing it for 17 years, and I've been teaching for a long time, and that is something that I really I feel passionate about, and it is something that I incorporate into my own practice. And it's great for raising energy, and just everything. It's great for connecting to your body, getting out of your own head eventually. Eventually, yeah. It takes a minute, but But this is my third or fourth Mystic South, so I'm so excited. I'm a veteran.
I really want to talk to you at some point about belly dance. I used to do it, and I have severe damage. So.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility to
absolutely?
Is there a workaround for people who are physically limited?
Oh yes. That's the great thing about belly dance is it is so adaptable to people, and I really emphasize at my studio inclusiveness in all kinds. Whether that means that you are in a wheelchair or you are just the type, which everybody whatever that is.
Yeah.
People have in their mind one thing, and then they come to class and they find out it's not a bunch of beautiful 20-year-olds getting it. There's a mix of people in there. It's not just women, it's men, it's binary people. And there's absolutely a way to work around physical limitations. I have a lot of students and have had a lot of students who have physical limitations. So for me, it's a great challenge.
Yes.
To figure that out, and there's nothing better for me than to see somebody able to do something they didn't think they would be able to do because of, and that right there it's the best. I love it.
How do people reach you?
You can find me on Facebook, Gwenna Obscura, or my real name, Wendy Konzelman. There's two of us. One's my cousin, and you'll know the difference. Or you can email me at gwennaobscura@gmail.com.
That's awesome, Gwenna. Thank you so much for
Thank
connecting.
you so much, y'all.
Nathan Hall, bring it to me. Come on. Nathan Hall. He has a radio. Yes, right there. He's very important. He's
radio.
Staff.
He has a radio.
In addition to everything else. Hi, Nathan.
Hi.
How's your conference going?
Busy.
We had you. We lost you. We have you back.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I was like, where did he go? Nathan has written a book.
Yep, Path of the Moonlit Hedge.
Tell them what's with that.
Exploring the animist leanings in my witchcraft practice.
Oh, you know, I love animism, and I think more people are actually animist than they realize.
Yeah, totally.
And would you what that you make?
Yeah, so for me, animism is sort of how I've described it and how I describe it in my stuff tomorrow, is as somebody who comes from a bit of a coding background, sort of the source code of the universe. I think that everything in the universe is inspirited, and that means everything, everything, from the quarks to the entire universe itself. We're all part of sort of the universal goddess energy that I see.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we're taught that everything's motion. Table is just a question of how far atoms are.
Yeah.
So if everything is actually alive, even the table is alive. So that's the basis of.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, we all are animals.
I think that we're all born animals, and we are culturally shifted out of that. Our culture changes our innate born perspective on connect with.
So again, you have class tomorrow.
I do.
At a time.
9:30, I think. 9:30 to 11. No, 9:30 to 10.
9:30 to 10. I think it's an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour.
I think it's an hour.
It's not an hour and a half.
Not an hour and a half.
I'd be more stressed out if it was.
Nathan is really busy because he's also part of the group that organized.
Yeah.
And so he's hassled and carried. He slowed down just enough to. Nathan, I really appreciate it. Tell
Thank
people
you.
How they can find.
You can find me on my website, moonlithedge.com, and I'm on Instagram at moonlithedge, and I'm on Threads, which I have gotten past at Moonlit Hedge.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
coming on. I know you're busy.
Thank you.
Oh my God, Threads. Everybody's like, Threads. I'm like, no. I don't need more. So I don't know how potential it is. Yay! I got a seat for you right here, baby.
Thank you for having me again.
Oh no, I'm honored that you came. So for folks, please tell them.
Absolutely. My name is Wendy Mata. I'm a fifth-generation bruja curandera from Mexico, and I'm here to teach about psychic self-defense tomorrow, which is going to be how to be creating fields of protection with magic and shamanism based. But we're also going to be doing some time healing work. We're going to go back in time to find the places where our code got switched so that we can repair the places where we are looking for.
Oh, this has been.
So we all. I think the beauty of the practices that I share, which are the core of brujeria and shamanism in Mexico, is that everything can be upgraded. I love what was his name? Thomas? Nathan.
Nathan.
I love what he was saying about the source code. I come from a background in cybersecurity. I worked in technology for 20 years before I retired to be a full-time bruja. And it's all about the code. It's all about the lines of energy, the code that we carry, and we can all upgrade. And the beauty of it is that you don't even need to know a lot about what you're doing to connect into the source to upgrade. So I'm going to be teaching some techniques tomorrow about how do we actually find the code that we need to go into the next step into our reality, but also to use that from protection. But the type of protection that I teach, we're going to talk about hells and vampires and things like that, but the most important part of it is
protecting ourselves from ourselves and protecting ourselves from our mental patterns and trauma and ideas. So some of the techniques are, okay, I can recognize that I have this part of me that needs to be better. How am I going to do it? And they're very on point and effective and practical. I have a background in engineering, industrial mechanical engineering. So I'm all about processes, systems, and practicality because I feel like life is going to go by really fast, so we may as well have fun and do the best that we can at that time. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
So when is that class?
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Maplewood. It's an hour and a half. It's one of the longest. Yes.
Oh my God.
I think it's really funny that I'm teaching that class without a projector because her knowledge was passed. It's a vocal transaction. I don't know how to explain that in English, but we used to teach, or elders would pass us the information by sitting down with us and sharing stories.
Yeah.
And sharing possibilities, all the possibilities. So I think it's very beautiful that it's really going back into the core of how this knowledge was passed. And we're going to have discussions, so I'm really looking forward to we're probably going to create an imaginary energetic fire just to kind of be there on the fire and have a conversation. I am integrating some technology on it because I'm also very techie, so I have a QR code that is going to download a manual. If anybody wants to go deeper, they can download a meditation and some charts and things that come with it.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about what we...
Yes. What part?
Oh, my God. About ancestral veneration that you are not necessarily related to, because when I hear ancestral veneration, I often think it has to be in your family line. But apparently it doesn't have to be, does it? Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. So we were discussing how we do have the DNA family, right? Like we know the lineage from blood. But a lot of us, first of all, don't even know who are our ancestors by blood. Many of my friends, customers are adopted.
Yeah.
And they have this connection to the lineage of their adopted parents, or they have the connection to the lineage, the light, the darkness, all of it, to their step-parents. I'm a stepmom. So there's that connection. But there's also the law of ancestors. There's the ones that were our teachers or mentors when they were alive, and they pass and they continue that journey, and they create this relationship with us that becomes, I feel, even deeper when they pass. Mm-hmm. We were also talking yesterday about what do you do when you have a complicated relationship with a blood ancestor and they pass? Do you continue to talk to them, or do you try not to ever talk to them again?
Right.
And we were talking about how many of those souls go through the process of, I call it recapitulación, like they're like basically connecting back the dots of what they did in this lifetime and all the lifetimes. And then they go into the collective consciousness, which soul heals the humanity, right, the process of humanity. And then it connects into the universal law. But that process may take a minute for some souls, because, time is relative, but some other souls, it may take a really long time. So we may not want to necessarily be establishing relationships with the ancestors that are not ready, or the ancestors that hurt us. Why do we want to have conversations with the ones that we know that hurt us? I was sharing yesterday how my relationship with my father became 15 times better since he died, which is an interesting thing to say, but the way that he used to love was not what I needed. I am aware that he loved me, but the way that he loved me was not what I needed. And even that I established that this is not the way that I need to receive love, this is the way that it would make me feel love. That didn't happen. But now that he's on the other side, he's very vocal. He likes to tell me how to cook, what spices to use, disapproves all my dishes until I follow the specific instructions, but the food ends being really delicious. And then lastly, we also talk about what I call the spiritual board of directors, which is establishing relationships with the dead ones that are not necessarily connected to us, but that are so evolved now that are really looking forward to help us. I was sharing the story of the fact that I work with Nikola Tesla a lot. In my world in technology, I did product development and quality and a lot of things in cyber. And sometimes I will be in some places around the world. I've implemented projects in probably over 20 countries. I will be there in places where nobody will know how to solve the problem. But I will be the one going there, and people will think maybe she has a process or a system. And no, I will just simply be talking to spirits. And I will be in a production line. I have this case where I was in China, and I was in Beijing. I was still working for Nokia at the time, and I was in Beijing. Nobody could figure out what was happening. And I went there, and in 5 minutes, I could find the solution. But it's not, I mean, yes, it is because of my intelligence, because I don't want to minimize it, but it was a divine intelligence that solved it. I was there, I was hungry. Literally, the conversation went, who's going to help me today? Nikola Tesla show up, and I said, I'm really hungry. I just took an 8-hour plane here from Finland to Beijing. I need to figure out what's going on because I want to go eat.
So make it quick.
Right, exactly. but we can have this conversation because I have been talking to him for years. So we're like friends at this point. I don't know if friends, but he's like really nice. And he pointed to the person that I had to talk to. This person explained what was going on. And that project at that point had been losing thousands and thousands of dollars. Nokia was about to lose a very big contract because they were not able to solve this problem. And I did that when I was in cybersecurity, and I did that in all my career. So we have this ability to find these allies, whoever they are, and establish relationships where they're going to be very helpful. You can find me at support@bruja.us, which is BRUJA.us. Bruja means witch in Spanish. My website is bruja.us. I'm in TikTok, Bruja Power, Instagram, also Bruja Power, Threads, also Bruja Power. I haven't done anything there, but and then Facebook, Bruja Power Bootcamp.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely.
I'll see you all tomorrow. This resonates. I'll see you there. Thank you.
Transport. Sit with me. Hello.
How are you, Rena?
I don't think you've stopped smiling since I first saw you the other day.
It turns out I miss people.
Oh, wow. How much of a shock was that?
Yeah, I thought I didn't like them, but I really do.
Do you? So your conference is going pretty well.
Oh, it's wonderful.
All right, so tell people who you are.
My name is Terrence Ward, and among other things, I spent my pandemic writing a book called Empty Cauldrons, Navigating Depression Through Magic and Ritual. We'll be talking about that too early for most people to wake up tomorrow at 8.
Okay. What room?
It's
a quiz.
Gardenia, I think.
Okay.
I hope, at least that's where I'm going to be. I don't know if that's where it's on the schedule.
He might be there by himself. It could happen. So, I'm kidding. So tell people about what you're going to do.
The class is called Depression: The Ancestral Gift, because many of us who have experienced depression have discovered that there are people in our family who have experienced depression. And I want to echo what I just heard, that ancestors are not always blood. They can be ancestors of choice and inspiration as well. And frankly, some of my heroes like Abraham Lincoln struggled with depression as well. What I'm going to be doing is talking about some of the things that I learned from my ancestors about mitigating depression, such as using a depression totem or soaking stones in a bath. And also I have a nifty guided meditation that I've designed that I'm going to see if it works or if people are going to be too snoozy to go through, because it's going to be some quiet parts.
Okay, cool. So what else is going on?
I just came out of my other workshop, which was Quaker Worship for Pagans, and it was really awesome. I didn't expect as many people as I got, and I didn't expect it to be as intense and profound as it was. It was quite amazing.
That's fantastic. And how do people find you?
My website is truepaganwarrior.com, and I have most of my social media on there. The dreaded Threads is not on there yet, but of course you can find that through Instagram.
Okay, cool. Terrence Ward, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me.
Thanks for spending time with me, Rita.
Yes. What? Okay. Everybody, this is one of my dearest friends in the world, astrophysicist Deborah Burr.
Hi.
Hi.
what's up?
So tell me what you're doing here.
Well, this morning at 8 a.m., I was rolled out the morning with a workshop on rocks and crystals. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody that chose to spend their time with me. I know there's a lot of choices that you can make to go see at the different times, and I'm really honored that about 40 people decided they wanted to come listen to me talk.
It was good.
So that was fun. Tomorrow at 1:30, that's right, I'm going to be talking about the solar eclipse next year. We're going to have a total solar eclipse that is going to come right across Arkansas, because I'm from Arkansas, and it's actually going, my farm is actually on the midline of the totality, so I'm very excited about that. We've got 4 minutes of totality at my farm, so I'm very excited about that. So I'll be doing that. I helped with opening ritual today, which was really great. I think everybody that went really enjoyed it. And we are almost all here helping my boyfriend vend at Sticks and Stones, and my Medusa rattle stove, and I about fell plumb out. I was like, what?
So talk a little bit about this morning's class, about what we were.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
So I, like Nicholas Peterson, I think that science and magic are going to converge eventually. I'm an astrophysicist by trade, and that's what I do in my paying day job. Is I'm a university professor. But my entire witch life, which is most of my adult life, I've looked at these correspondences of science and magic. I don't think that they're two separate things. And I think if you separate them, you're losing some richness of magic, because you believe that magic is energy, right?
Yeah.
And Reiki is energy. I'm a Reiki practitioner, or, the different things. It's all energy work, right? Well, there's a whole lot of energy in science, too. We talk about all the energy stored up in just making a rock, just a humble piece of sandstone rock from the Arkansas River, all the energy that goes into that, because you've got to make a sun, and then you got to make a planet, and then you got to have the planet cool off, and then you got to have a volcano make an igneous rock, and the igneous rock has got to turn into sediment, and so forth and so on. I won't put all of you to sleep by going through all of that. But all of that has energy in it that can be tapped into, so why not? Then you can really get into, like, the chemical nature of it and look at because I love the periodic table. Periodic table's like, I love the periodic table.
She was stroking the periodic table.
Oh, it's so pretty.
She was. I was there, I saw it.
Yes, and so you can look at numerology. You can look at sacred geometry and the crystal structure. So I think if you incorporate your science into your magic, it just adds so many more layers, and it makes it just. So I have a book coming out next year, which y'all all encouraged me to finally pitch. Like last year, I was like, no, and all my friends were like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out. It is a spring release from Llewellyn. It's called Weather Magic, Witchery, Science, and War.
I'm so excited. Okay.
And it is what I talk about. It is the combination of science of weather and then weather magic. So, that's me. Much what we're doing. You can come buy stuff from us, and we'll talk more if you want to know more about elements. I'll corner stuff into. Goodness. So Arkansas. One of the things I talked about this morning in my talk was Arkansas quartz crystals. We live very close to one of the two existing veins of high-quality clear quartz crystals in the world. It's outside of Mount Ida, Arkansas, and you can go there and mine your very own quartz crystals, and you can pay people to mine them if you choose, or you can drive down the forestry roads and pick them up out of the ditches, or you can have a boyfriend that knows a super secret hidey hole place, and you can hike in for 1.5 miles, and then you can hike out with 100 pounds of crystals that you didn't pay anything for except blood, sweat, and tears. So
that's a lot.
Yeah. In fact, the piece that you bought this morning, I carried out with my own little hand. Had my blood on it by the time I got out.
I bought what is the relative of
doorstop.
That's what I was
Bookend.
Thank you.
So Arkansas quartz is very highly programmable. It's very energetically. It amplifies all energy work that you do with it. It's hexagonal in its structure, so if you like sacred geometry, that's your gig. It's got hexagons inside of it. So we've got some beautiful things for sale that are made with Arkansas quartz crystals.
Come and get what's left.
Come and get what's left.
Because we bought a whole bunch of it to the
And then also, too, because my personal witchy practice is sort of grubby dirt witch lady. I love bones. And I own a farm, so I have a lot of bones. But I think it's important to me to make those tools out of animals that I loved and cared for and had names and had stories, because then their stories get to live on. So I can tell you about every single bone that's on that table, what its name was, where it came from, what its life was like, and I think that's important. So, and then all the wood we found ourselves. So, so it's very personal provenance. We can tell you about the provenance of our tools that we create. So it's Sticks and Stones is the name of the business. Come on out.
And when is your class?
1:30.
And tell people what the word provenance.
Provenance means it means it's sort of its chain of possession or its history. So like a quartz crystal that I dig up, I'm the first person who's ever touched it. First humans ever laid hands on that crystal, I'm the person who brought it into the light. And I think that's pretty powerful to think about, right? Because we've all gone to TJ Maxx, and there's nothing wrong with going to TJ Maxx and buying selenite wands. If you go to TJ Maxx and you pick those selenite wands up, and it's kind of but that's not to say it's not useful, and then if that's what you want to do, that's great. But if you have the ability to go and mine your own crystals or your rocks, I mean, there are a lot of powerful rocks out there that don't have to be shiny and pretty, right? Hagstones are great.
Absolutely.
Use what you got. I mean, your backyard local magic is the most powerful. And that's kind of the point of my weather magic book. Is magic, most powerful politics is local, the most powerful magic is local, in my opinion. So use what you got. Use things around you like that.
And when do we think
it's coming out in spring? It's going to be in the winter catalog, if I'm not mistaken, for pre-order, and it will be out in the spring, which I think means April-ish, I think. Yeah. So it'll be real when I actually have it in a hot little hand. I got invited to the Llewellyn author mix. I'm like, I sent this to the right person. I still have some imposter syndrome is real. But yeah, so that's me. You can find me on Instagram and as Doc Firewoman, because if you like the cult. And then I have a YouTube channel. It's Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal. You can find me there. You can send me a friend request on Facebook. I'm Deborah Burrows.
You're an activist.
I am an activist crafter. Yeah, I use my craft as political speech a lot of times. And I live in Arkansas. My boyfriend has children. They're hard times. Have people love being in danger. So I'm pretty outspoken. I'm pretty sure I'm on a watch list at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
There you go.
Bring it on is all I got to say. But anyway, so yeah. So that's, I think that if you have a position of privilege, which I do at my job, because I'm a tenured full professor of physics, and I don't want to go into administration, so I don't have to have people like me. And so I can speak truth to power.
It's important to be able to get that tenure so you can stay true.
I think you can speak truth to power so I can advocate for my students' best interest regardless of what the paper pushes over on the other side of me. I think that's important. So I have that privilege, and so I do that. And that's why we're friends.
And
thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for the kind things you said about my book. Raina's got to read it. So
I did get to read it, and I loved it. It's fantastic.
My album reader. Thank you. I just sit here and ring the bell.
This is my friend Dr. Deborah Burrows.
I'll write my name down and then check it off.
Write your name down and then check it off.
Okay, then
I'll Mark would like that. Jody Graham McKay. Come on. Author Jody Graham McKay. This is not an ambush.
This is fun. No, we planned it.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
How's your conference going?
I'm having so much fun. Are we allowed to have fun like this?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So tell people who you are.
Well, my name is Jody Graham McKay. I'm an author and a filmmaker. And I just screened 3 of my short films, just like across the hall for the last hour, and had folks to talk film, pagans on film with.
Oh.
So that's kind of one of my things.
I'm interested in that.
It is. It's interesting.
I
It's
know.
interesting, and it's interesting when you see something in media, film or media, that's about pagans, that was actually made by pagans, instead of somebody kind of looking at us under a microscope like some kind of freak show. It's us talking about ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's pretty. It's a different perspective. You don't see that too often.
So, how would you describe the films that you had?
Well, my wheelhouse is documentary.
Cool.
Yeah, so I do documentaries, and I've worked professionally in documentary films for, 15 or 17 years or something. It was an accident. I'd had a long career in music before that, and I accidentally ended up working in a documentary film office that turned from like helping out to actually making the content myself. So that's kind of interesting. And the types of programs I like to work on are programs that explore the beauty of nature.
Isn't she phenomenal?
No, I'm sorry, totally tangential here. I'm just looking around.
Yeah, she's remarkable and already spoken. I'm sorry.
We'll
all on tape, and we're all going to get together.
Yeah, we're all going to get that. But no, I like to make projects that explore the beauty of the natural world. I like to see the mystery and the wonder of the planet around us, and I like to talk about that, and I like to explore it in different ways. And I think that naturally for me, I'm looking at the world through witch's eyes.
Sure.
And trying to translate that into a way that's accessible and digestible to everybody. That's what I like to do. So the 3 short films I just showed were 3 episodes from a 4-part series I did for a Canadian. I'm from Canada, Canada, Winnipeg. A Winnipegan, huh?
Winnipegan. Come on now, give it up for Canada. Thank you.
We're not just cute faces and free healthcare.
And
poutine. Yum.
Mm-hmm.
But so this series I was just showing across the hall called Exploring the Sacred, by a broadcaster in Canada called Bob T. And each episode looks at a different pagan tradition and explores how that creates natural world. So there's an episode about a druid. There's an episode about a heathen kindred. There is an episode about a herbalist, and an episode about the folks that call themselves the keepers. They are folks that work with earth energy and meditation. So that's cool. Earlier today, I was downstairs doing a talk about earth magic, which what my book.
Which is a great book. It's a great book. Yes, we all have it.
And I'm starting, because I'm getting ramped up to the book next year, so I'm starting to sneak in elements of that book into my earth magic talks, because the new book is going to be about the relationship that magical have with animals. So that's part of it. So I can it all works together.
That's really cool. Yes, Jody is actually an accomplished author as well as a documentarian. I didn't know you were in the music business. I've just got to poke you a little bit about that.
Well, it was a peripheral role. I was like that chick at the record store.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I started working in weird alternative record stores when I was a teenager, and I did that for a long time and worked my way up into taking on bigger and bigger roles. And I did a little bit of roadieing, I did a little bit of management for bands, but my primary thing. Wow, when that world started to fall apart, and everything's free and downloadable.
Don't get me started on that.
Okay, let's go down to the bar later and talk about that.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm married to a musician. For those who don't know this, when Napster first came on the scene as an actual thing, I almost had a stroke. Everybody else was like, "Oh no, it's going to be okay. It's just a way for us to promote." And I said, the music industry is fucking over now. I really thought of it as a doomsday scenario for musicians. And it turned out to completely change music industry completely.
Yeah,
looking at my musician husband. But did it or did it not change the music industry completely?
Absolutely.
It wrecked it, right?
Well, now the only way to make money is to grow.
Yeah.
And now we're going on the road.
Oh, yeah, that's a new thing.
Yeah.
Musicians are getting hit in the face with objects now at an alarming rate. A singer recently got hit in the eye with a cell phone. What moron is throwing their cell phone at the singer? I mean, I'm sure they didn't mean to hurt her. It's flying from the audience. But the truth of the matter is, going back to what you were saying, Napster freaked me out with things.
Well, it freaked us all out. And we were, those of us that were working in music stores, we enjoyed our community. We liked being there behind the counter to talk about the thing we love most. We wanted to talk about music with people. We wanted to have relationships with our customers. We wanted to, listen to music all day long and get paid to do that. And then get excited and, hey, regular customers. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Yeah.
And some of the bands that were the most endearing were the bands that figured it out and would show up in the record stores and hang out with us and get us excited about what they were doing, and they'd come in and shop, and then we'd go to the shows and have fun. And it wasn't just a transactional thing. It was a community.
Yeah. Because you would go to that person at the store who was in high school, who knew your taste, who you knew you could turn on to something new.
Yeah, I haven't worked in a music store since 2004.
Do they exist anymore?
Well, not really. But to this day, I'll be at Superstore buying my groceries, and somebody will come up to me and go, "I know you. You're that girl from the record store. You sold me a Roxy Music bootleg in 1987, and it's the best thing."
Yeah.
And I'll look at the person, won't remember their name, but I'll go, "Yeah, didn't I also sell you Murmur Blah?"
Yeah.
And we will know each other by our record collection to this day, and you can't replicate that.
Yeah.
You can, downloading's really handy, but that community is gone.
And people don't think about what got wiped out along the way. My husband, again, he was in New York a few years ago, and he's a drummer, and he needed something, and I'll just go down to this, Sam Ash is there, I can get whatever I need. Closed. A block later, more, because we had music stores that were in a row. And everything is gone. No, go ahead. It's a free-for-all now. Go ahead. But, yeah. Yeah, it's like you
no, it breaks my heart. Because that was real experience. That was community, right? And isn't that why we're here?
Yeah.
Also, we could download all our witchcraft. We could,
Some people do,
and we do.
Part of the problem.
But when we're here having conversations, there's people in this room, Wendy, that I only know from being online.
Yeah.
But when I see your faces in real life, I got great.
We're real people.
Yeah. I might walk around pinching people to make sure we're all real. But
pinch me up. No. But it's true. It's so different when you talk to somebody online as opposed to talking. While you can build an online, before the internet, you really didn't have a choice. You either had to be there or you had a phone. Otherwise, there was no connection. But I heartened to go to a conference. Talked to you 9,000 times, but we're meeting for the first time face to face, and it's much better.
Well, you know what I like to do now? One of the hobbies I developed during the pandemic time, when I wasn't writing stuff, I was writing letters, cards to my friends. And I challenge everybody who hears my voice right now, buy a stamp, buy a cute card, make a nice picture on it, and mail it to someone.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to write a big, long thing. Just mail somebody something, make somebody's day. How nice is it to open the mailbox and there's something addressed to you that is not a bill or a pizza flyer?
Yeah.
You
are so correct. Buy it. Yeah, really. I have an 80-year-old aunt and for cards. First time I did it, called me and said, with the middle of the night, call you. And it's something tangible that people feel you, especially with the loved one. So, right to each other, don't engage eye to eye anymore. It makes me sad because I am pre-introverted. You know, I didn't grow up with this stuff. So I was kind of resistant. I was in my 40s when I very first, you know, it's like a lifetime ago. So So what else are you doing?
What else am I doing? Well, I'm catching up with friends. I'm trying to get to some classes and listen to other great pagans speak on Sunday at noon, I believe. Laura Tempest Zakroff, Phoenix. Yep. Phoenix Lefay and I are going to be doing a panel about magical resistance, witchcraft, and activism. So I'm looking forward to that. We did a different version of that at the heck were we at? Sacred Space Between the Worlds. We did an edition of that. No, that was Paganicon. All blurring together.
It does after a while.
Yeah. Well, it went really well, and it's really interesting to see when you're presenting a topic like that, the cross section of folk fiction, and it's really there's a chance to engage and get inspired and you know, get maybe inspired to do a bit of shit disturbing. I'm allowed to cuss in.
Oh, yeah. Did you? Hi, we met on the car, and I.
Fucking nice to meet you.
Fucking amazing to meet you, bitch. I love you. But it's really.
Yeah, and the exchange of ideas. I always walk away from an event like this with a lot more to think about. And a lot of inspiration. Like, there's always a big burst of writing that happens when I come home from an event like this, because I'm just so by my community and by all the great ideas that I'm exposed to. And yeah, it's every pagan should come to an event like this.
Absolutely.
I know.
Once a year. Once a year. Yes, we try to do this once a year.
At least, but at least once in your life, you got to treat yourself. I live in a place. I had to take 2 flights to get to this. So it's not always accessible to everyone.
Sure.
And it can be a real investment to get to it. But everybody should treat themselves once, push the walls of their circle way out, and try and include them.
So when is the next book?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how this all is. Still learning, but I believe it will be next autumn.
Okay.
So 24 autumnish. I don't have a hard date yet. There's several titles in my head. I don't know which one's going to be eventually on the cover.
Okay.
But something to the effect of Witches and Familiars Guide to Magical Relationships with Animals, or something like that. It's a long title. You might have to stop and have lunch halfway through the title, but it's it could be a thing. But witches and animals have a long. We talk a lot about a witch's familiar.
Yeah.
So part of the book's going to talk a bit about, that historic context, how that started. But we don't live in the past, we live in the present, and we're hopefully moving towards the future. So how is that? How are we going to make sort of historic things or these stereotypes? How do we actually make that something relevant, practical, every day?
So tell me about the animals.
Okay, have we got all day? You've asked me to talk about my dog.
Okay.
I've got 2 dogs. I've got a Humane Society rescue dog named Lola.
Lola.
Yep.
Lola.
Yeah, that's right. And then I've got a little Russell Terrier called Georgia, who some people think got named after this one. She was actually named Giorgio.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so the 2 of them and I like to go muck around and go on long walks and go on adventures together. They big inspiration. They are for the current book.
Yeah.
But the book, the new book is actually an homage to my late great dog Oben, who was with me for 6 years. Who I miss so hard every day. The only being I ever loved enough to have their name tattooed on my body was. Yeah. 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 Now you're rather attached.
Yeah.
So yeah, animals are such a big part of our lives. Whether we love them as pets or eat them as they are a part of our lives. And sometimes it's hard to reconcile that both of those, right? There's magic in all those relationships. The book's going to. Yeah, I think it's. Well, thanks for letting me just kind of crash into the door. Thank you, guys.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we've got. Would you like to say? Do you have anything to say? No, nobody. Okay. Are we ready to wrap? Yes. Are we ready to wrap? Sure. Yes. I'm being given the high sign of it's time to wrap. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated all the speakers, everybody who just come out. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful conference. Looking forward to coming up with all collectively outside of this. Thank you again.